Blessed love, beautiful being, happy Tuesday. Welcome to Monday Message and Mercury retrograde. It has been fun. Yesterday was a very trying and difficult day, and I apologize for not getting out your Monday message on Monday, but I am committed to recommitting, and so here we are. It's Tuesday, and I'm going to deliver your Monday message. I got a great quote for you today from Lisa Nichols. I was watching some kind of webinar that she was doing. I was taking some notes, and she said this thing that really struck me. You know, I always wonder, why is it that we have such a strong desire to move forward in our lives, to take action in our lives? We take a yoga class, or we go to a workshop or a retreat or a conference, and we are like, we have all this gusto about us, like, I'm going to go do that thing. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to implement these things. And then at some point, you know, we don't stay with that commitment. We lose the steam, we lose the motivation. And why do we do that? Why, when our hearts have this strong desire to have change and transformation in our lives, why do we get stuck in repeating the same patterns, the same old things? Why do we sabotage ourselves? Why do we continue to make excuses for ourselves? Why do we put it off till tomorrow when we're not guaranteed that tomorrow's going to come? And she said this thing. I've been asking myself this question the last couple of weeks, and she just said something that really, to me, struck a chord with that. So Lisa Nichols says, people are more comfortable with a familiar discomfort than they are with an unfamiliar new possibility. I'll say that again. People are more comfortable with a familiar discomfort than they are with an unfamiliar new possibility. You may not like your present situation, but there's a level of comfort there. It's comfortable because you know what to expect. You know what the horizon holds for you in that situation. You know what's going on there. You're very familiar with that terrain, and so it's comfortable to stay there because you're familiar with it. It's really, really hard when you're trying to press into or push into a new life that is unfamiliar terrain, a new territory, new possibility. And that it's that simple little aspect of it that's like, this is really unfamiliar. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I've never done this before. I've never gone in this direction before. I've never taken a stand for myself like this way before. I've never chased my dreams like this before. And it's really exciting in the beginning. We have all this inspiration and all this motivation, and then it fizzles out. And I'm always amazed within my own life how much I can want something and yet not chase it. How much I can want to achieve something or do something or be something or have something, and yet I'll put it off, or it'll take me a long time, or I'll find a reason why it's not a good time to do it, or, I'm just like you guys. I go through the whole gamut of excuses, and I think that Lisa has just really hit it on the head here. Of often it's just really scary, and we don't have the resilience yet or the fortitude yet that allows us to go into totally new terrain that is absolutely unfamiliar to us, especially when you are trying to up-level your life. If you're making choices to up-level your life, a new career, a new relationship, a new lifestyle, a new project that you've never done before, a new skill that you've never had, right? Like I'm not a great singer, but I enjoy singing, and I lead kirtans, and so I was seeing Linda Arnold for some singing lessons, and it's terrifying. It's terrifying because I've never had singing lessons, and it's unfamiliar. I don't know what's going to happen. Am I going to look like an idiot? Am I going to be told I just don't got a voice and I should just give it up? And I'm able to recognize, like, oh wow, I'm really uncomfortable. This is making me feel a lot of resistance right now. It's bringing up a lot of my insecurities. But I have been able to cultivate a mindset that says, well, the life that you want to live is on the other side of this hard work. And so if you want that life, you got to go through the hard work. And I think a lot of people get hung up with the hard work, the amount of how uncomfortable they are with the unfamiliar new possibility. It's really all it is just unfamiliar territory. And our minds can only project from what it knows. So you're projecting your past experiences onto a new unfamiliar possibility, and you're imposing what's happened in the past as if that's what's going to happen in the future. And so if we can just not carry over our past and not go, well, last time I did that thing, it turned out this way. If we can just say, well, let me have another go at it. Let me try again, and let me just push through this with some resilience and fortitude. Let me not give in to the fear. Let me not give in to the insecurity. Let me not give in to the discomfort of something that's unfamiliar, because the life you want to live exists on the other side of that unfamiliar new possibility and all the discomfort that you have around it. And yes, you can be excited about a new future and a new vision for yourself, and at the same time be totally uncomfortable and terrified of the outcome. They're not mutually exclusive, and they can absolutely exist together. And I usually tell my students when they're making big life decisions, if you're excited and terrified at the same time, it's 100% the right decision to make. You should feel that way. You should feel excited and terrified. We just have to get better at dealing with that part of ourselves that is terrified because we don't know what to expect. That's all that it is. Your brain wants answers. Your mind wants to map it out and know how it's going to happen, and then it's got to happen that way. And if it's a new thing, if it's a new avenue in your life, it's completely unfamiliar, and so your brain can't really compute what might happen. It's referring to past experiences and going, well, this happened before, and if I do this new thing, it might happen here too. And so we have to find a way to recognize, first of all, when we're having those feelings of discomfort and go, oh, resistance is here. I'm feeling resistance right now, and what's around that resistance is all these other feelings and emotions. And if we can just start to recognize that we're feeling that way and ask ourselves, what does that feeling need? Like, I'm feeling insecure. What does it need? Well, I just need some practice, or I need some test runs, or I need some more education, or I need some experience. If I can do that, then it helps me move through the discomfort. It's still there, but I have to move through it. And once I move through it, then I get to that other side, to that unfamiliar new possibility. So I want you to just ask yourself, what has been something that you've been wanting to do in your life for yourself and for your growth, for your benefit, for your well-being, that you've maybe on a daily basis or a weekly basis or a monthly basis have been thinking about? Dieting is a great one. It's but I don't know what it's going to be like to have to prep meals all week, because I've never done that before, and I don't know if I can do it. Well, the only way is by trying. And the only way that unfamiliar territory becomes familiar is by adventuring out into that terrain. So if you are always going to be in that place where you're just more comfortable with a familiar discomfort, and this is a really important little line here. If you are more comfortable with a familiar discomfort, so like a thorn in your side that you've been dealing with, but it's familiar, it's there, you know how to deal with it, you know how to cope with it, you know what to expect from it. It may not be good, but at least that's familiar. And so we stay in that place because it's comfortable, because it's familiar. If that's how you're going to live your life, just know that you'll always live in the field of mediocrity. If you really want to step into the field of greatness that is available to you, it's available to all of us, and we all have our own field of greatness to play in. If you want that, you got to be okay. You got to get okay somehow with all the feelings that are going to come up. It's okay to feel afraid. It's okay to feel intimidated. It's okay to feel insecure. It's okay to feel doubtful. All those feelings are okay. What gets us stuck is we don't want to feel those feelings, so we just stay with the familiar discomfort because we know those feelings there, and we've been in them for so long that it's just comfortable at this point. And I know that can be hard to say, or hard to really wrap your head around, but I'm sure we've all been there where we stayed in a relationship longer than we should have simply because it was comfortable. It wasn't the right relationship for us. It wasn't serving us, but it was comfortable. And so we stayed. And I can't express this enough and stress this enough, that just because it's comfortable and you stay doesn't always mean that it's a good thing for you. And it doesn't mean that it's always pleasurable to be in that space, but you're in that space because you're more comfortable there. It's too uncomfortable for some of us to step out into new terrain and new territory and new possibility because it's simply unfamiliar. We don't know what it's going to look on the other side. And so all I'm suggesting here is that you find it within yourself to have the fortitude and the resilience to feel all the feelings that you have, all the discomfort that you have about this new terrain. Like, it's okay to feel it. At the same time, don't just get myopic and like tunnel vision. With that, I also want you to be looking at the possibilities that exist in that new place, in that new terrain, in that new possibility. Imagine the feeling, imagine what your life is going to look like when you get to that other side, right? Don't necessarily get so hung up on the journey getting there. You just got to find the resilience and the fortitude to get there. Otherwise, you'll spend your whole life living with familiar discomfort. And I know you don't want that. Nobody wants that. Discomfort is discomfort. But because it gets familiar, it becomes comfortable because we know what to expect. I want you to expect bigger and better things for yourself, and know that you deserve it, and be willing to like traverse that unknown territory and be okay with the discomfort that comes up with unfamiliar new possibility. Just because you're uncomfortable with it or you're having, doubts about it doesn't mean that you should just not do it. There are always going to be doubts when you choose to up-level yourself. Your insecurities are going to come up. Your fear is going to come up. It's all going to come up. That's part of up-leveling ourselves, is being able to look those things in the face and say, I see you and I'm going anyways. I see you, and I'm still going to put one foot in front of the other. I feel you, I hear you, but I'm still marching forward. So my friends, please, I cannot communicate enough to you to take a look at your life and look at the familiar discomforts that you've gotten comfortable with. And in some ways, it's like we've settled. Like, okay, I'll just take what I got at this level because I don't really deserve more. It's too hard to have more. So I'll just settle for what I have. Even though I'm not fully satisfied, I'll settle with the bit of discomfort or a lot of discomfort that I have here because it's familiar. Don't live your life that way. You will miss out on so much joy, and you will miss out on so much of your potential if you stay with the familiar discomfort. Be bold and be brave. Find some friends if you need to that are going to hold your hand the way through it, all the way through it. Find friends who are going to cheer you on and tell you got this. Find friends who you can call when you're freaking out because you're in unfamiliar possibility terrain. You need to have that support system. But please go boldly into your future. Do not settle for familiar discomfort. Please take a stand for yourself. Take a stand for yourself and walk boldly into the life that you are meant to live, which is not settling for familiar discomfort. We were not meant for that. We were meant for so much more. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you found some nuggets of wisdom in here. And I hope that it is inspiring you and motivating you to at least take one small step today by simply just looking at are there familiar discomforts in my life? Like a thing that's gnawing at me that I really just wish would be different, but I'm going to just stay where I'm at because it's familiar and that's easier. If that's the one thing that you do today, please do it. Just take time to take stock of what's going on in your life. Only you can make the changes necessary in your life to live the life you want to live. And if you keep doing the same things, you're going to keep getting the same results. Do something different. Be brave enough to look at your life. Where have I settled for familiar discomfort? All right. I hope you have a pleasant week, and I hope that you stay strong and grounded. Lean into those practices as it is Mercury retrograde for the next 3 weeks, and it's a doozy. It's already been fun, which is why you're getting your Monday message on Tuesday. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being patient and tolerant with me, you all. I'm so grateful for all of you out there who watch these videos. Please, I want to know what you think. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know your takeaways. So drop me a comment below, send me a DM, and let me know whether you liked it, if you didn't like it, you agree, you disagree. I want to know what you're getting out of this. It'll help me serve you better. So please, please hit the like button, share this with a friend, and don't forget to go out and hold your head high, keep your heart open wide, and live that life that you know you were meant to live. I'll see you hopefully next Monday. Until next time, Life Warrior, be good, stay loving and kind, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.